Man, please. He owns it. He claims it. There's no need to prove it.
It's okay. You'll come back tomorrow.
I tried digging up a bush yesterday. Big mistake. I saw a guy on TV yesterday. I swear he drew his beard on with a dull Sharpie.
Start spreading the news. Yeah.
Can a brother get a sandwich up in here or something? The cops and the firemen were kicking each other's butts.
Man, please.
Man, please.
Man, please.
Man, please. Can we get on with it?
All right. Can we get on with it, please? I'm just wondering if we can get on with it. All right. I'm coming to you. This is Reverend Melvin T. Johnson. I'm broadcasting today's episode. What? Oh. Okay. I guess I'm not broadcasting today's episode. Trog will be. Hang on just 1 second.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Reverend. I appreciate you trying to help a brother out like that.
Oh, well, that's no problem. No problem.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you. You can exit the area now. That's kind of tricky. I do that. There's really, I've droned myself. What did I say? Droned myself? No, I've cloned myself. I just have drones on the mind today. That's what I want to talk about, too. By the way, you are listening to the Man Please Show. And I'm your host. I'm not Reverend Melvin T. Johnson. I know maybe you were hoping he was going to broadcast today's show, but he ain't. It's me, Trog. I'm doing the show today, so I want to thank you for tuning in. And, I've been told by some of my live listeners that they have a hard time getting tuned in right at the very beginning of the show. So I want to tell you, if you've been able to tune in by now, I hope you have. It's been 2 minutes, so maybe you're here. But I am going to research, and I'm going to find out what's going on with Spreaker. I love Spreaker. I've been with them now. August was a year. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 18 months. Sweet. 18 months. I've got 196 followers. 196 followers. I know. That's a lot to me. I'm thrilled that 196 people want to follow me, and then we have a bunch of plays. I don't know that I can see it right at this moment. I can't. But I think we've got like almost 6,000 plays. You know, we're less than 200 away from 6,000 plays, and so that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty happy about that. I really do appreciate all of my listeners. I promise you I will find out why it's hard to get logged on right at the time that the show goes live, because I have this great opening billboard. That's radio talk to you layman folks. That's the beginning of the show where the music plays, and I say, man, please, man, please, man, please, man, please. And so I want you to hear that. I'm going to change that up too. I like to change it, do new things. I'm going to shorten it up because I'm trying to get on iHeart. And they keep telling me, hey, we've told you over and over again that you play more. I'm not supposed to play more than 30 seconds of any kind of music, whether it's licensed or not. And the music that I use comes from a music it's music beds that are not licensed. Anybody can use them for anything. But they have their rules, and I understand that. So I'm going to be changing the opening billboard to something shorter so that they have no reason to keep me from iHeart. And once I go to iHeart, look, you guys will have no trouble finding me. You can listen to me on your radios in your cars. And so that's a big, I'm really excited about that possibility, and I do expect it to happen. I just have to conform to their rules, you know. I was thinking that I was so special that I wouldn't have to. Yeah, right. Yeah. And so I want to encourage you to go to the Man Please Show Facebook page. Like our page if you haven't already. I posted some new things on there. And later on, we're going to be talking about a new Facebook page that the Man Please Show is going to be sponsoring. And I'll tell you a little bit about that. Give you a little tease about it. It's concerning homeless. I have a new heart for homeless, and so I want to talk about some of the things that we'd like to do. You know, we want to do something. I just posted a song by Matthew West, Do Something. Well, I'm going to do something. I'm in a place in my life that I have no excuses. I can't sit here and say, well, I don't have the time for that. Those things are for younger men. No, that's not true. That's not true. So, I want to talk about drones. Are y'all concerned about drones? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, drones, you know, the main drone the United States military uses over in Iraq and Iran and Syria and all those places. And most of them just carry cameras. Some of them carry weapons, but most of them carry cameras, and they can fly. They can fly under the radar, so they're undetectable, and they can do reconnaissance. I think that's, you know, that famous picture of the president and the Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and a bunch of generals sitting in the war room, and their eyes are all glued to one place in space, a TV screen, and they were watching live the SEAL Team 6 as they came in and went into Osama bin Laden's camp, found him and killed him. They watched that stuff live. You know how they did it? With drones. So drones, first and foremost, are very valuable. And we need them, and I'm so glad we got them. Because it really put things in our favor. And after all, when you're talking about war, that's what, you know, that's the whole idea, right? To get the advantage. Oh, no, certainly not. You don't want an advantage. You want to fight fist to fist, bare knuckle, man to man. No. Nope. Why do that? You know, if the enemy, if they were smart enough, they would come up with these things. They want the advantage too. And they get it. They have those mountains. They live, but, good. Let them live in those darn mountains. But those are not the drones I'm concerned about. The drones I'm concerned about are going to get Americans killed. And I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Sometime, it is inevitable. And I hope I'm wrong. Someone is going to be flying a drone out. Now, I'll tell you what the law is. The law is that drones can't go over 400 feet. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a law against jaywalking. And, we really put a stop to that, didn't we? Nobody jaywalks anymore. I'll tell you that, buddy boy. So the law is 400 feet. Man, please. 400 feet. That's just when they're going good. they're flying these things, and there's already been close calls. I've heard it on some of these voice recorders from the I can't think of the word. The people that talk to him from the towers. Yeah, please elevate to 32,000 feet and increase speed to much faster. Okay, thank you. Those guys. I know what they're called. Anyway, there's been close calls. And people say, well, you know, if they hit a plane, they'll just bounce off the side of the plane. The plane, surely the shell of the plane is not going to have trouble with a little plastic drone bouncing off of it. Right? Yeah. So, what's there to worry about? Well, you remember Sully? You remember what happened to him? You remember why his plane went into the Hudson? Because it ingested a bunch of birds in the engines. Those engines don't like anything going in them but air. They don't like drones going in them. They don't like birds going in them. They don't like rocks and bad dreams, you know. They don't like things going in there. Nothing but air. So, yeah, maybe one will bounce off the plane and, whoo, boy, that was close, huh? But maybe one will go and get ingested into an engine. And then what? And so my problem is, we know it's going to happen. So is there no such thing as preventive maintenance in this country? I mean, I used to do it for a living. So let's do a little preventive maintenance for death, to save lives. I don't know what the solution. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, look, I've got the solution to the problem, you know. And I know a lot of people say, well, yeah, it's easy to point out the problem. But, yeah, it is easy to point out the problem. So why do we have to wait until 237 people are killed in a plane crash because it ingested a drone in one of the engines? Why do we have to wait for that to happen before we actually put enforceable laws in place and consequences for people breaking those laws? Because you know what? And this is just a cold, hard punch in the face of reality. One of those 237 people that die in this plane crash that will very likely happen if we don't do something about it might be one of your relatives. It might be one of my relatives, and I'll be pissed off. You know? So, I want to know, I mean, what does it take? What does it take to force our country, our government, whoever has to make this happen, what does it take for us to force them to do it before people have to die? And then, when that happens, there'll be a news report. I'll be sitting in the kitchen, and I'll hit my mute button. I'm not listening to it. Like I said last Wednesday, I've had it with that kind of news, man. So, you know, it seems like when we can, and this is a situation that we can do something about it before it happens. I don't know what it is. And frankly, I don't even know how to put a fire into somebody's butt to make it happen. Gosh, I'm